lesson, we're talking about something called probability. So, you might have heard of the word probability used in everyday life, right? So now today we're going to talk about what exactly is probability. Okay, so now probability is the likelihood. Now these are the terms which we need, right? The likelihood of what? Of an event occurring. You can think of occurring as happening. So I've stated two important points here, right? The likelihood, right? Event, right? Occurring. Okay. So now, the likelihood of an event occurring, meaning we don't choose, right? But it's the likelihood of an event occurring. Okay? It occurs when it wants to, right? So now, the likelihood of an event occurring is what we call probability. We don't choose what the probability want to be, but it's also a prediction, right? We are just saying that, okay, we can have 80% of an event occurring, but it might also not happen, okay? So there's 80% of having rainfall, but we can have 20%, meaning it might not occur, okay? So probability is not self-induced, it's a prediction. The formula says that PE, which is the probability of an event E occurring, is equal to NE divided by what? Divided by NS, okay? So NE, what is that? NE is the number of possible events of interest, okay? Possible event of interest, meaning it's the event which we are looking for, okay? And then this one here, the sample space, total possibilities, you can put it that way. How many possibilities are there? Okay. Now, P is the probability of an event occurring. That's what we call P for probability. Okay. So the probability of an event occurring. Okay. So now, the formula says that PE is equal to NS multiplied by what? By NE divided by NS. Okay. Let's have an example. Suppose you are playing you're rolling a die with your friend, right? And I've got a 6-sided die. So how many outcomes are possible here? Well, when I'm rolling a die, I can get a 1, I can get a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6, right? Can't get all of them if I'm rolling a single 6-sided die, meaning I only have one die, right? So which is of a cube shaped. Each side has its specific number. Okay, so now if here is 1, it means that the chance of getting a 1 here is only 1 out of a total of what? Of 6, right? So now we say that the probability of me getting the number 1 when I roll a die is how many 1s do I have? How many possible events are there? There's only one chance of me getting a 1 of 6 sides, right? And what are all the total possibilities? Meaning, if I was to roll a die, how many chances will I get? Well, I can either get a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. And that's what we call a sample space. All the total possibilities which I can get. So basically, I've got 1 over 6, right? Which evaluates to approximately 17%. So now, in order for you to get the percentage, you simply have to multiply the probability by 100, okay? So the possible events of me getting a 1 is what? It's 17%, right? So of everything here, the probability of me getting 2 is also 17. Of me getting a 3, still 17, right? So if I can multiply this number by 6, let's see what we get. Well, it's 16 point, the exact number is 16.77, right? You multiply that by 6, you get roughly 100.62. But then like this just evaluates that, okay, the probability of me getting a number on a die is the same for each and everything, right? So if I take a 4, the probability of me getting a 4 is how many 4s do I have on a die? I only have 1 4 out of a total of what? 6 options. and I multiply that by 100, and I still get approximately 16.67. Okay, so this one was just over rounded. So now what is the probability of me getting an even number? Well, even numbers are multiples of 2, right? We include 0, but a die doesn't have 0. So an even number, we've got 2, we've got 4, we've got 6. Any number that you can divide by 2 without getting a remainder, it's what? It's an even number. So how many even numbers do we have on a die? We've got 3 even numbers. It's 2, 4, and 6, right? So the probability of me getting an even number is the possible events of interest, which is what? 3. I can only get 3, which is 2, 4, and 6, right? Out of a total of 6 options, multiply that by 100, then you get a probability, 50%, right? Meaning a probability of me getting an even number is 50%. Now, what about the probability of me getting an odd number? Well, how many odd numbers do I have? Let's see. Well, I've got a 1, I've got a 3, I've got a 5. The probability of me getting an odd number is still 3 over what? Over 6. Multiply that by 100. The answer is also 50%. Now, this means that on a die, it's a 50-50 chance of me getting either an odd number or an even number, because we have either an odd number or even number on a die. Okay? So, this is how we can calculate the probability of me getting an even number. You just have to check how many even numbers exist on that die. If there are 3 of them, then take 3, divide by the sample space or the number of possible events that can occur. Now, what about the probability of me getting a number that is 7 on a die? What is that? Do I have 7 on a die? No. So the number of possible events is 0 out of total of what? Well, 6, right? We can't have 7 options out of 6. That's evaluated to 0. Impossible event, right? So these are what we call impossible events. Okay, so it's an impossible event. So now let's talk about the probability of me getting a number that is more than or equal to 4. What is that? It means I must start at 4 going up, right? Because it says equal to. So I'm going to start at 4 and go up. So I'm going to start here. Oops, I just cancelled 2s. Okay, let's use a different color there. So now the probability of me getting a number that is more than 4 and equal to 4, I'm going to start at 4 and count 1, 2, 3. Meaning that's 3 out of a total of what? 6 options. You multiply that by 100, you get a probability as a percentage that is equal to 50%. Okay? So meaning that if I was ending here, the probability of me getting a number less than 4 and the probability of me getting a number more than 4, you can see that is equal, right? Because 3 and 4 are like middle terms, right? So this is how it is. So now this is how we can evaluate the probability of an event occurring. So remember, probability is the likelihood of an event occurring. We don't choose what to get, okay? So remember that they are saying it's a prediction, okay? We say it's a prediction. However, the other remaining percentage is the one that can occur, meaning that probability might not occur, okay? So when we say that the probability of you getting a heartburn is 90%, well, 10% can occur, meaning you might not have it, okay? So this is what we call probability. It's the likelihood of an event occurring, and the formula is given by PE equal to NE over NS. So PE is the probability of an event occurring, NE is the number of possible events, okay? And NS is the total sample space, okay? So now this one thing which I can leave with you, and we'll carry it on with it in the second lesson, okay? So example 2, try to doing this, okay? Tossing a coin and determine the probability of you getting a heads, okay, and the probability of you getting a heads and a tail, okay, and we'll see how we can do these things in the next lesson. Thank you for watching.